So, hello and greetings today. Um, this story time is going to be about a daycare that I used to work at back in the year 2020. Now, I actually found, I actually fell in love with this daycare because although they could not give me the job title of working in the baby room, they gave me the job title of working with toddlers from 2 years old to 3 years old. And some of the kids that was in my class, because I was a daycare teacher at this daycare center, I fell in love with them too. Um, there was a Nigerian little girl. She was around 3 years old and she talked really good. She was cute. She was a pretty chocolate color. Um, there was another little girl in my class who was very pretty. She was Caucasian. She had beautiful blue eyes, and she was 2 years old. There was a light-skinned girl, black African American girl in my class who had a brother. They both was cute. I fell in love with them because they were very obedient, and I found that when if you're not able to work in the baby room because that position has been filled, then you can also work with toddlers. Toddlers are very obedient. I mean, they have their days. They do throw temper tantrums and they do cry a lot, but when they are nice and obedient, they're obedient. Okay, so I really loved this job. I did. And however, I'm gonna say my boss at the time, she was a Pakistan lady and she's very old. Now, she even though she asked me what age required kids would I prefer to work with, I told her the toddlers. She's gonna say, well, I prefer you to work with the older kids, the kids that's around 10, 11, and 12, who was terrorizing and fighting other kids and throwing things and being disobedient and talking back. That's what she wanted me to say. Then she wanted me to work with the schoolers, the older kids. So I'm gonna say for about 3 weeks, she let me work with only the toddlers. I was coming to work on time. Um, I did not have a lunch break, which was fine for me. I was just very fortunate that I had a job. Um, but I was coming to work every day. I was coming to work on time. All of a sudden, when I came to work, 2 weeks later, she's gonna say, um, "You're gonna work with the toddlers in the morning time, but when the clock strikes 2 o'clock, I want you to let someone else take over your class, and then you and she wanted me to work with the older kids, the schoolers. And I told her, with all due respect, ma'am, that's not what I signed up for. When I first took this job, it was understood that I would be working with the toddlers. I told her, why all of a sudden it's a change? Why do I have to work with the schoolers? And those older kids, the schoolers, they are the ones that hit teachers. They are the ones who have ADHD. They are the ones who curse. They are the ones who destroy, throw things, and destroy the whole class. So she said the other teachers, this is what she said. The other teachers does not want to work with does not want to work with the schoolers, does not want to work with the older kids. So she said she chose me to do that, and she's gonna pay me extra. That was a bribe because my paycheck did not change just because she asked me to work with the schoolers. So then every day I will work with the toddlers in the morning from 9 a.m. to 12. When the clock struck 12, I had to go and switch over and go in the other classroom with the older kids, the schoolers. I had to break up a fight one time. Um, Kids was throwing staplers, playing football with it, and almost hit me in the head with the stapler, talking back to me. Um, I would get a lot of, "You don't tell me what to do. You not my mama." This type of stuff, and on top of that, she would take the schoolers, the older kids, out of the classroom around 2 o'clock because she wanted me to clean and mop their classroom. Now that was very, very hard on me because I'm like, okay, she already has me doing something that's not my job. That's not my job title. I'm not supposed to be working with the schoolers. But I just did it anyway because I needed to keep that job because my bills was very high, and at the time my light bill was $350 that I had to pay every month. So um, there was an incident. This was the incident where this little boy. I had to break up a fight between these two 10-year-old little boys. Um, One of the little boys tried to hit me, telling me that I'm not their mama. I don't tell them what to do, and just saying F you to me and all these derogatory words. And I tried to handle that best way that I could, but I had another daycare teacher to go and get my boss to help me control the boy who had ADHD and who was fighting. Now, by the time 6 o'clock in the afternoon came, we was dismissing kids, and I had to sit with the older kids, the schoolers. Once again, I had to sit with them until they were signed out to go home. And I didn't like doing that either, but I did it anyway. But After, I'm gonna say, most of the schoolers, most of the older kids were gone. Um, my boss, yeah, the Pakistan lady who was my boss, took me to the side, and my daughter was going to this daycare also. Well, she took me to the side, and she was like, "First of all, I do not like the fact that you couldn't handle what was going on in the schoolers classroom. You're not supposed to come and get me when you have a problem. You're supposed to know how to handle situations, and I'm not going to keep you hired on here for too long if you keep asking me for help whenever you're in those situations. And you do not, it does not seem like to me that you have ever worked in a daycare. I don't think you have any experience." I said, "Lady, I have a CPR license. I've worked in several daycares. I have experience." Where she said, "Well, I don't see it." And she's like, "I'm very unhappy with your work here. You're not trying hard enough." And she's like, and then she's gonna have the audacity to say to me, just like right now, it's two kids left, and I have to sit with you to help dismiss these kids when I'm supposed to be somewhere else, and you're supposed to sit here to dismiss the kids, not me. Yeah, with an attitude. So I'm like, I didn't say anything. As much as I probably wanted to give her the finger, I probably wanted to call her the B word, all of that, I had to take it because I needed that job. But that hurt me so bad. I went home that night after I put my daughter to sleep because she had to go to school the next day, and I had me 3 glasses of I fixed me 3 glasses of gin with a little Sprite in it. But I was so upset because I'm like, this lady don't understand. Like, she's making me work with the schoolers, the older kids, and that's not my job. I'm a toddler teacher. I work with the 2 and 3 year olds, and I just didn't know what to do in the situation. I wanted to quit, but at the same time, I needed the job, so I just, But I was in love with that job. I was. The most best thing that I liked about the job is not only because the toddlers were so nice and easy to handle, but because it's right where I live. It's right behind my apartment complex. And it was easy to get to. I didn't have to worry about getting on a bus or catching an Uber or Lyft or anything to get there. I could just walk to the job every day, and I would walk home. But every day that I would get home from that job, I would be so tired because I not only had to clean the toddler classroom. At the end of the day, I had to clean the schoolers classroom, and the older kids classroom was the dirtiest because they would color all over the tables and the walls and just dirty up everything. But overall, I was in love with that job. I was. Even though the boss treated me like trash, but this is the end of my story time. And this is going to be called the daycare job that I fell in love with. But until then, y'all stay blessed.